Hello everybody, my name is Isabel of Cosplay, your everyday cosplayer, and today I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to actually be doing a review. I will be reviewing foam clay. This foam clay I got from Cosplay Apprentice. I got it on Amazon. I got it for $22, which is not cheap, for about 300 grams of product. While I was doing my research and going through Google, I stumbled upon something very interesting. When I typed in foam clay, Crayola's Model Magic came up, and I was like, what? Is Crayola's Model Magic foam clay? I wasn't quite sure because I had never used it. I've seen it in a lot of craft stores, even Walmart, and it usually is marketed as a kiddie product. If you go on YouTube right now and look for Model Magic, there's no real reviews. All I see is slime videos. So in no way, when I saw this product in the stores, did I think I could use this for cosplay in any which way. But like I said, I was very suspicious and curious when Model Magic came up as foam clay in the Google search. So today I also got a pack of Model Magic, and this is about 4 ounces. The retail price is $4.47, but because I bought it at Hobby Lobby and was able to use a coupon, I got 40% off. So this came out to like $2 and change. So today is going to be a dual review. Not only will I be reviewing regular foam clay that all the cosplayers are using, but I'm going to be also reviewing Model Magic because, like I said, I haven't seen a real review of Model Magic, and maybe today, maybe it's the same thing. I don't know, because this is $22, this is $2. So maybe I can help you save some money. Maybe this is a bit of a cosplay scam, you know, because it could be a good product, but is it just this repackaged for cosplayers? Because you know how they say money's in the niche, so they just threw cosplay in the name and decided to jack it up 10 times the price. Let's see if that's really the case. Which product do you think is going to perform better? I actually posted online on my Instagram asking people if they've ever tried either or and what were their experiences. And foam clay has really, a lot of people have been raving about it. If you go on Instagram, already in just a couple of months, there's already over 2,000 search results for the hashtag foam clay. And like I said, for Model Magic, I don't know too many cosplayers who use it because it's usually marketed for children. So I myself had never used it until now. Let's talk about how they came packaged. The foam clay, because both of them do air dry, you want to make sure this is fully closed so your clay doesn't dry and get hard. They really went all out there. For this $22 price point, you get this very airtight sealed bucket. It's so airtight that I could barely open it. I have to tape it. I literally broke this. This has to be child-proof, ESA-proof. I could not get into this. I had to use my husband to help me open this, and we literally broke it. And when you open it, look at me struggle. It comes in a baggie, like a nice little Ziploc bag, and it comes in like this loaf, as you can see. And like I said, I can't really, it's very dense. You know, you really have to work it. I would say it's similar to kneading dough. It's very dense. You really have to, look at me pull, really have to work into it. As for the Model Magic, it came in a little bag. The con I would say is I don't know why it's not like a Ziploc bag, because once you open it, the clay is going to dry out. I literally had to tape it and put it in a Ziploc bag. So I find that packaging definitely a no-no on this. I did see these in like a bucket form. I didn't get it, but you can get it in a bucket form and you get a lot more product than the foam clay at a similar price point. Now let's touch this foam clay. Like I said, it's very similar in texture to the cosplay foam clay, the Model Magic. It's a lot softer, that's for sure. I would say, if I could compare, I would say the cosplay foam clay feels like you're kneading really hard dough, and this feels like maybe you're kneading some, you know, those Pillsbury biscuits that come in a can. That's pretty much what this feels. It's a lot softer. And what makes them both similar is that they both have like a very moist kind of like feeling when they're not dry. They have like a moist texture when they're not completely air dried. First part of the review, we're gonna go into how do they feel. With the Model Magic, I noticed it had a spongy texture. It did not feel like normal clay. It was soft, but it was very spongy. And I pretty much, to test both of them, I tried doing just like some very simple horns, nothing extravagant. So don't come for me saying, oh, do you really know how to build? I'm like, go on my Instagram and you'll see I know how to build. I just wanted to do something simple, something fast, because I'm right now in Con Crunch for KatsuCon. So I just wanted to get this review out the way. First thing I realized, both of them were spongy. They had a spongy texture. It was very different from regular clay. I was actually really surprised. They did feel a bit kind of similar, which was a surprise to me. As I said, I had never used either or. I would say the difference was Model Magic was a little softer and foam clay was a bit more pushback. Because I feel like it's a denser EVA foam. When I would bend it, it would actually bend back into shape. And with both of them, you know, it was a little hard rolling it and smoothing it out and compressing it. So you really, really have to have patience. The next thing is that once you're done, you have to leave it alone for 24 hours. Don't touch it, just let it dry. Because when you first use it, it does not necessarily feel like EVA foam. It feels very moist. You cannot prime it, you cannot paint it. I did see online another cosplayer to pretty much speed up the process, use the heat gun. Let me tell you, don't do it. Do not do it for either or, because as you can see, when you heat it up, the surface of the foam clay starts to rise. And I noticed it for both the Model Magic and foam clay. I would say have some damn patience and wait the 24 hours. I don't know, go to Starbucks, get a latte, just let it go. Play some video games, but leave it alone for 24 hours. Don't do anything once you're finished sculpting. Next, whenever I work with EVA foam, I always like to prime it before I paint it. I either use Plasti Dip or Mod Podge. For this experiment, I use Plasti Dip. I just wanted something quick and fast. Like I said, this was like a quick experiment to see how each worked. This is the raw horns. Like I said, this is nothing fancy, nothing intricate. I didn't do much detailing on it because I did want to sand them to see how they sand up, because regular EVA foam, you can sand it, you can bevel it, you can use hot tools, you can use a heat gun on this. Like I said, I really don't recommend using a heat gun. Pretty much bend it to whatever shape you need to bend it to, because it will bubble up, which was very surprising. I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but I really would not use any heat on these. I haven't tried working it with a thermoplastic yet. I probably wouldn't do it just because of what I've seen with it bubbling up and actually losing its details once you do that. So this is the raw EVA foam. This is the cosplay foam clay that's been advertised online. And this is Model Magic. As you can see, they're pretty similar. From what I see with the foam clay, it comes in what I've seen gray and white, maybe black. Correct me if I'm wrong. And with Model Magic, it comes like all the colors of the rainbow. So if you're someone who does not like painting, probably Model Magic is the way to go. Another experiment I tried, because I saw people online doing it, is that you can actually put foam clay into silicone molds and just pop them out. And I wanted to see, did it really work? And I tried both the Model Magic and the foam clay, and it works really beautifully. It was great for creating like some faux gemstones. A little trick a lot of prop makers like to use is using googly eyes for rivets and stuff and bolts. I think this is great for molding like half dome shapes, get like one of those cool like kind of resin molds and use that to pop it in. And I think that's better, you know, because when you're applying paint or heat, those googly eyes could melt or deteriorate. They're very sensitive, and plus you don't hear that chicka 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 sound, which is kind of hella annoying if you have an armor that has a ton of googly eyes. So I think that's a really cool trick for picking up with the EVA foam and just putting a lot of really cool detail on your cosplay armor. Next, I tried sanding the foam clay as well as the Model Magic. I have to say, don't do it. Do not sand it. From what I've seen is that unlike regular EVA foam, when you sand regular EVA foam, pretty much the texture stays intact. When you sand foam clay or Model Magic, what happens is there are little air gaps. So you get little holes that are left in the foam, and it's completely unattractive. Yeah, you can go in and fill in those gaps, but what's the point then? The whole point of using foam clay was to make it easier and more time convenient for you. So I would definitely recommend not sanding foam clay. Next, I primed the foam clay with the Plasti Dip. I didn't see it absorb it as well. I don't feel it's as absorbent as regular EVA foam. Maybe that's a yay and a nay in itself. You really got to play with it. Like I said, I used 2 coats of Plasti Dip. I didn't really see it absorb it that well, but maybe it's because I sanded it. I don't know. We'll never know. Now I did paint test. I used the paint I always use, which is the Rust-Oleum primer and paint in one. And like I said, here they are. I think they painted okay, but I think the sanding just left such an ugly texture on them. I think maybe if you're doing something very organic looking, maybe this is the way you want to go. But like I said, if you can see, there's little holes everywhere, and it's very unattractive and it's not smooth. The parts that I don't have that much sanding did paint pretty smooth. So I would just recommend not sanding it, priming it, and then painting it. Now let's get into detailing. What I noticed with both the foam clay and the Model Magic, it's good to do your details while it's still wet. Like I said, do not use heat on this product. I would not use a wood burner. I would not use a heat gun. I would actually use tools made for sculpting clay. I would create all the details that you want while it's still wet. Now for my verdict, I would say that they're both pretty handy. Someone asked me if it would replace Worbla. No, Worbla is a thermoplastic. It's very, very hard. That's something if you want very, very durable armor. The EVA foam clay as well as the Model Magic is something more for light builds, because armor can get very heavy, and the perks of using EVA foam versus Worbla is you get armor that's very lightweight versus a lot of very heavy armor, because it does add up the more Worbla you add to your pieces. What I would say is definitely the advantage of using foam clay. It's great for creating more organic shapes, more smooth shapes, horns, circles, things of that nature. It's easy to mold. Things that otherwise would be very, very difficult to do with actual EVA foam sheets, because if you wanted to build horns, you would have to pattern it, you would have to heat form it. With this, you just organically mold it, sculpt it, and it's ready to go. Just let it air dry and you're ready to use it. Now my verdict. Is it worth spending $22 for this versus $2 for Model Magic? I would like to say they're pretty similar. You know, I think you're paying for a name, you're paying for a niche. I would say the only difference is I would say the Model Magic is just slightly weaker, and the Cosplay foam is a lot stronger. I would say that it's a lot more. I would say it has a little bit more durability, but if you're doing small details, I don't think it matters at all. So what do I recommend for you guys? I feel if you want to try getting foam clay, go ahead. It's a good product. And if you're someone who wants to save money, go for the Model Magic. What I would say is I wouldn't build anything necessarily big with either. I think it's better for small details and just like detailing, whether it be some figurine or beveling, like little dots, little things like that nature. I think either or works really good. Like I said, the Model Magic is a lot softer, and the Cosplay foam quite is a lot harder to use. Because it bounces back when you bend it or stretch it, it tends to kind of come back together. So you really got to work it out. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my review. I tried to cover all the little aspects of both clays, the pros, the cons. Like I said, they're both pretty good. If you enjoyed my content today, please leave me a like, leave me a comment, share the video, and definitely subscribe to my channel. I definitely want to do more videos like this. Hopefully, I can go into more advanced costuming tutorials as well as sewing. Please subscribe to my channel. My name is Isabel Cosplay. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.